Greetings, everyone. Welcome to Wedaways, Getaways, virtual FAMs for wedding planners. We are just having a few people log on. I'd like to introduce myself. I'm Renee Strauss, co-founder of Wedaways with my wonderful married daughter, Pamela Goldman. Pamela runs the travel department with her assistants. She books the room blocks and the site inspections, and she does the venue sourcing and all of that wonderful fun stuff that supports our wedding planner community. And my part is I oversee marketing and venue procurement, which means I do a lot of traveling around the world to find amazing properties. This Thursday, July 2nd, we are launching another webinar series, which you will hear about tomorrow in an email. The series is called The Wedaways Advantage: Travel and the Business of Weddings. We really want to share our knowledge, educate our wedding planning community, and just be available to you to be supportive and be of assistance in your amazing entrepreneurial journey as wedding planners. So that will start July 2nd. It will be a 3-part series, and something very exciting about it is that we have sponsorship properties, which means we will be giving away nights. So you definitely want to tune in. You'll be getting all of the emails, check it all out. Refer a friend, because for every wedding planner friend you refer, you get another chance to win. So there's lots of exciting things coming down the pike. This week is Villa Venue Week. And for those of you that joined us on Tuesday, we went to Mykonos, Greece. Today, we're going to Italy, France, and back to Greece. And Mickey from My Private Villas will be presenting 5 spectacular villas, which we know very well because we've had wonderful weddings at all of the properties. She's broadcasting with us from Bucharest, Romania. That's a first for us. We've worked with people from a lot of places, but Bucharest, Romania is our first time. So hi, Mickey. We're so happy you're here.
Hi, Renee. Hi, Pamela.
It's
lovely to talk to you.
Thank you so much. If anyone has any questions, just shoot them into the Q&A box or in the chat box. Pamela's the moderator. She'll be moderating all the questions. And if you can't get to us during the webinar, we will do a follow-up as always, and you'll be able to communicate with us about anything you need. So one more thing I wanted to mention about Wedaways, the Wedaways Advantage webinar series, is that it will be moderated by industry insider Kristen Seaholm. Now, a lot of you know Kristen and love her almost as much as we do. She has 6 years of hotel background in the events departments. And she's now launched her own entrepreneurial career, the KS Experience. And Kristen's worked with us now almost a year, and she's full of incredible knowledge. So again, you'll definitely want to tune in for that. Okay, let's bring it back to today, to Wedaways, Getaways. And Mickey, if you'd like to share with us, I think we're going to be starting in Lake Como, if I'm correct.
Yes, we are starting with Lake Como. I'm just gonna share my screen with you. I would like to start with Villa Balbiano on Como Lake. Many of you probably already know it. It's located in the town of Osuccio, approximately 20 kilometers north of Como. And guests can fly either to Milan Malpensa or Milan Linate, which are both approximately an hour drive away. And for private jets, the closest airport is in Lugano in Switzerland, and it's 45 minutes away. Balbiano is an extraordinary property. It's a historical palazzo, and it's one of the eldest and largest private properties around the lake. It has almost 3 acres of lawns and gardens and private access to the lake, as well as 2 swimming pools and a mooring place, so guests can actually rent a boat and park it in the private garage. This is one of the gardens just in front of the property. But Balbiano offers different areas for reception requirements, from the ceremony, the cocktail, to the dinner and the party. You can see here the picture of the area which I just showed you, which is Zone A. That's the main terrace facing the lake. Then we have the sheltered garden with its centenarian trees. Close to it is the courtyard area, just around the swimming pool, and at the back we have the secret garden. This is one of the setups for the ceremonies that were organized. And this area, it's also suitable for outside dinners up to 550 guests. This is one of the dinners. Another picture of the ceremony. This is the sheltered garden, and it also has access to the lake. You can enjoy the stunning views. And I think it's more suitable for an informal setting rather than a formal one like the main terrace. The courtyard area, it can cater up to 550 guests, and it also has a dance floor. This is one of the setups. I think it's quite impressive. Going inside, we can organize dinners in Villa Balbiano for up to 60 guests in the lobby, which has amazing Baroque frescoes. This is one of the living areas, the fireplace. In terms of capacity for accommodation, there are different properties on the estate. We have the main palazzo, which has 6 luxury bedrooms, sleeping up to 12 people. Then we have the West Wings, which has 4 bedrooms and it can sleep up to 8 people. Villino with 5 bedrooms, up to 10 people, and a separately standing apartment for 2 extra guests. So there is a maximum capacity of around 32 people. Balbiano can only be rented for exclusive use. They don't have a minimum stay during the weekdays, but they do require a 2-night stay over the weekend. This is one of the bedrooms. The kitchen, which is fully equipped. And you can contact Pamela for more information regarding the vendors. She can help you with organizing the florist, the music, lighting, and decor. In terms of activities in the area, there's a lot to see, from boat excursions to enjoy the villages to trips in Como, Milan, or Lugano. This is everything for Balbiano. If you have any questions, I'll be happy to answer them. Now we will go to Amalfi Coast. Yes, please, Pamela.
Yeah, I have a question really quickly. The marquee that was set up at Villa Balbiano, is that something that the villa owns that they can offer, or is that an outside vendor?
It was organized by an outside vendor, yeah. But it's amazing that they have the space for it.
Yeah, fantastic. Ooh, we're going south.
We are going south, we are going to Amalfi Coast. And I would like to present you Villa Oliviero, which is one of my favorite properties. It's located around 200 meters from the main coastal road that passes through Positano, and it's accessed via pedestrian pathway. And it's absolutely stunning. You can see all the tiny towns clinging to the rocks, the colorful houses. The terraces are impressive, and I think every corner provides the ideal backdrop for photos for the big day. You can also enjoy the sunset. This is the swimming pool area. This is one of the setup for the welcoming of the guests. The lounge. I absolutely love that this property has a lot of greenery, and the walls are adorned with ivy plants. And here we have an amazing pizzaiolo throwing pizzas all night long. We normally like to suggest organizing a rehearsal dinner in the pizza party. It's quite a lot of fun. In terms of capacity, this property is smaller. It has 6 bedrooms and 2 one-bedroom annexes, which can sleep further 4 guests. So in total, we will have 16 guests. There is a minimum rental of 3 nights in the low season and 7 nights in high season. Here we have the traditional kitchen. It looks traditional, but it has all the modern equipment. The property is built on 3 levels, and there is a maximum capacity for a seated meal of 120 guests outdoors and 100 in the covered space. There is also a maximum capacity for a buffet meal of 150 guests outdoors and 120 covered. And there are different terraces. On the ground level, there is the guest entrance and welcoming. Then we can organize on the red terrace the civil and symbolic ceremonies. And also on this terrace, if the guests want to organize cocktails along the poolside, that's something we could do. The dinner and the cake can be organized on the white and green terrace, and the after party and bar on the red terrace again in the poolside. This is one of the ceremonies. And the civil ceremony can be organized at the villa, but if they want to have a religious ceremony, that can be organized in the nearby church. The property offers help with planning all the extra services, so Pamela can liaise with her if she needs any help with music, entertainment, photographer, or anything else. We are going even southern. We are going to Sardinia now, and I would like to show you this fantastic lighthouse, which is located on a rocky promontory in southern Sardinia in a protected marine area called Chia. And this property is famous because it marks the southernmost point of Sardinia. It's approximately 50 kilometers from Cagliari, so guests can fly there. I think what makes it really special is that it's one of the 20 royal lighthouses, and it was built with granite stone. And it has 360-degree views in a fantastic infinity pool and quite a regal history, and you will see that the interiors are very elegant and stylish. It's one-of-a-kind property, and I think it's a perfect destination for a wedding along the sea. Normally, guests like to organize the ceremony by the rocks, and you can hear the sounds of the waves crashing into the rocks just beneath. This is the swimming pool and the sunset. The property is surrounded by 3,000 square meters garden overlooking the Mediterranean. And I think this makes for a special place to say I do. It's quite a romantic estate. This is one of the setups just in front of the property, and the property boasts different indoor and outdoor spaces where guests can organize the cocktail, the ceremony, the dinner, and dancing. The pool terrace can host up to 400 guests for the appetizers and welcome drink, and the garden gazebo can host 100 guests seated, or 400 if another gazebo is built, because there is a large area, so there could be options for building another one if guests want to organize a larger wedding. This is another picture of the seated dinner area. Capospartivento can also be rented only for exclusive use, and there isn't a minimum rental period. They can even rent it for 1 day, but I think we normally suggest for the guests to rent it for three nights as a minimum, so that they have the time to enjoy the property. We are going inside now, and the property is, it has quite an eclectic style. It's a mix of vintage furniture brought from all over the world. Each piece has a different story, but it's combined with the ultimate amenities, and it feels quite modern as well. There is a maximum capacity of 12 guests in the main villa, but there is another property behind it called Residenza Semaforisti, and that property can sleep for other 8 guests, so that would make 20 guests in total. And now we are going to Santorini, Greece. Back to Greece. I absolutely love Villa Erossea because it's you can't organize big weddings here. It's a smaller property, but it feels very intimate. It's situated in the charming village of Imerovili, in a tranquil location, affording some of the best sunsets in the world. It's perched high on the cliffs, and it offers, as you've seen, magnificent views. The terrace is quite extensive, and it's the ideal spot for organizing the wedding ceremony. And for dinners, the maximum number of guests which can be seated is 20. So it's more for couples who want to have their closer family and friends together. This is the swimming pool. This is a setup for the ceremony and the dinner. And you will see that the property has quite a minimalist style. And in terms of capacity, it has 5 elegant bedrooms, so it can sleep up to 10 guests. And it's equipped with the modern amenities, and it offers a maximum comfort and privacy.
Beautiful.
There is a minimum 3 nights rental for events, and they don't allow music after 10 p.m. So it's important for the couples to know this. And I also wanted to share with you one of the reviews from the past guests. Our lovely wife was saying, "I have traveled a lot, but never have I been to a villa like Erossea. With unobstructed views of the sea and the sunset, you will forget all your worries in life. The photos may not look real, but they certainly are. The villa and the views are just that beautiful. The breakfast can only be described as a masterpiece with everything made to order." Svati, who manages the property, is always eager to ensure guests are receiving the best possible experience. She was a fantastic host and responded to any questions immediately. She offered us a wide range of recommendations and restaurants while in Santorini. Imagine a yoga class overlooking the caldera. It is impossible not to be fully relaxed in a Zen state. We also enjoyed outdoor massages, a Santorini wine tour, and a catamaran boat tour all around the island with sunset views from the sea. She was very pleased.
Sold.
And yeah, as I mentioned before, you can contact Pamela for any other questions you might have in regards with the organization of the wedding. I'm sure she will be happy to assist you. There are lots of activities that can be organized in the area, from wine tastings to yoga sessions, horse riding, water sports. The last property that I would like to share with you is Chateau Bouffemont in Paris area in France. And it's located very close to Paris, around 30 kilometers north, and it's only 20 minutes drive from Charles de Gaulle International Airport. It has been fully renovated in 2020, and it can only be rented in exclusive use. It has 5 grand reception halls, 9 magical suites, and sumptuous garden and grounds. This is the bar area. The chateau strikes the right balance between antiquity, charm, and elegance. Crystal chandeliers, authentic wood paneling, and 5 fabrics accompany the latest technology. It's basically the interior decor is the work of the Italian architects Augusto Busnelli and Marco Allievi, who designed and created most of the furnishings in this property. It's quite a large estate, and it was erected in the 19th century, and it spreads over 4 different floors, offering 2,000 square meters of living space. This is the floor plan of the different areas where we can organize the cocktail and dinners. It has a capacity of 150 guests for a city dinner and 250 guests for a cocktail. As I said, it has 9 bedrooms, which can sleep up to 30 guests. This is the kitchen area. And this is one of the setups inside. If you have any questions, I will be pleased to answer them. These are some of the reviews from our happy clients. There are a lot of activities which can be organized nearby, from horse riding to access to a golf club, flight courses, relaxing by the biggest river beach in France, which is L'Isle-Adam, hiking, trekking, or mountain biking in the nearby forest, water sports, wine tastings, or cooking classes. That was it.
Oh, that was amazing. Pamela, you might have questions that you want to share, but I just want to say a few things from my experience with the villas and your company and our DMC partners on the ground in the various areas. Excuse me. For those of you that don't know what a DMC is a destination management company. And one of the wonderful privileges that we have as a travel agency is that we work directly with destination management companies in each region. Now, there could be hundreds of destination management companies in every region, but we have learned already through the process of elimination and wonderful referrals and actual experience, which are the best destination management companies. Specifically, I want to mention about this amazing Chateau Bouffemont just outside of Paris. One of the most popular things about this chateau is that only 20 minutes outside of Paris. France is an amazing place, and we've had a lot of very happy clients that have had their weddings and honeymoon experiences in France, but it's huge. And the biggest comment that we hear from our clients is that once the group, the guests, the bridal party, the couple arrives into the destination, flying into Paris or Lyon, depending on where they're flying into, they're not excited about having to change vehicles and travel a great distance to get to the next place where the actual wedding is going to be. The Chateau Bouffemont is like going to another place. Paris is a bustling, vibrant, sexy, gorgeous city where we have fabulous partners for the room blocks. In fact, I think we're working with five in our portfolio, and then of course many more properties inside of Paris where all the guests can stay, because everybody that's going to France wants to stay in Paris for a few days before or after. But to be able to just travel 20 minutes and get to a place that is like in another world, on this estate with these gardens that just go on forever and forests that are just spectacular backdrops, it's like going into another world. And one of our really fantastic DMCs that we work with has arranged champagne tasting for us while our guests are in Paris. They've taken their, the guys to, believe it or not, France is an amazing place that distills spirits, gin, whiskey, tonic, all kinds of really cool stuff that you'd never think take place. You know, in France, we think wine and champagne, but there's so much more. And embroidery factories, all kinds of additional excursions. So I just want you to know that that is one thing that we really love about Chateau Bouffemont. And we just published this week on Monday a blog about all the wonderful things. In fact, I think it's called 10 activities your Paris wedding guests will love. So definitely read that, and definitely keep Chateau Bouffemont in mind. And if you don't mind, I know that I'm still talking, but Pamela, before you go to your questions, I want to jump to the Amalfi Coast. And some of you already know that I got married on the Isle of Capri in the Amalfi Coast. And it's an amazing destination because it is a landscape probably unique in the world. It is against the cliffs. In fact, Mickey said the structures are hugging the cliffs. I think that's how you said it. I mean, it's just such an amazing place. The views from Villa Oliviero are amazing, amazing. And the natural flowers that are found in the destination make the decor very, very easy and absolutely gorgeous, and lots of wonderful activities for your guests as well. Now, some of these villas will sleep a smaller number of guests than others. And as you know, we are very well versed in all of the surrounding areas to do the overflow in additional accommodations. And as villas are the emerging option in this time of social distancing, we chose these 5 villas in the extensive villa collection of My Private Villas, because these are the ones that we have found very popular among couples. They just absolutely adore these destinations. I don't know if any of you have ever seen a lighthouse destination like the one in Sardinia. It is such a once-in-a-lifetime spectacular place. In fact, not only have weddings been hosted there, but there have been some huge bar mitzvahs and bat mitzvahs that have brought entire wedding parties over to Sardinia. Sardinia is a huge island off of the coast of Italy, and it has really great access to all the vendors that you would need to support the actual production. So we want to put your mind at ease. And it's wonderful to be able to offer these, I would say, a little bit more remote destinations, but still super, super accessible and very easy for us to support. So, and I know that we were in Greece this week, we were on Mykonos, but this particular sugar cube villa in Santorini is really a standout. Santorini's also a very exceptional place, of course, and the pre and post excursions that we've been able to organize for guests and wedding parties have been anywhere from Athens to staying on Santorini a few extra nights to the amazing large island of Crete, which is a relatively undiscovered island of Greece that is the largest island and just spectacular as well. Next week, we'll be having one of our Crete properties come on board also. So I just hope that you enjoyed these villas as much as we love booking our clients there. Pamela, can you go ahead and share some questions that have come in?
Yeah, so before I share some questions, I'll just expand a little bit, but won't go into too much detail because I know that I see a lot of you on here that we work with already, so you know all about our services. But of course, at any property in the area or destination of any property, we can provide activities and excursions for the couple and their guests. So we have a wide range of activities that are suitable for different demographics. And you know that if you work with us, that we will make sure that the guests are taken care of, whether it's champagne tasting, snorkeling, private yacht charter for a welcome dinner. We'll take care of all of those ancillary activities and excursions. So you just need to focus on the planning and production of the wedding. And as Mickey so kindly mentioned throughout the villa presentation, we are happy to suggest and refer vendors in areas where we have those relationships, which are many of these areas that we work in. I know that many of you on here and that we work with in general bring your own teams from the US, which is also totally fine. We will, of course, when negotiating the contract, ask the property if there are any requirements or restrictions when it comes to bringing in your own vendors. Some venues like the iconic Villa Balbiano and some other ones they can be restrictive when it comes to just outside vendors that they don't have knowledge of, but we are able to work with all of those requirements. So just to keep you at ease, we are happy to put you in touch with our friends and wonderful vendors on the ground, and that includes local planners. A lot of times that's a really great way to go about a destination wedding, which many of you know, is to hire an assistant on the ground. And if you need anything from us, we're always available. Any recommendations, suggestions, as you know, if you give us a client profile, we're happy to make suggestions of a villa that would work for them. So we do have some questions, and the first one that's universal for all of the properties: what are the music restrictions or noise restrictions at these private villas?
They depend from property to property. So, for example, in the villa in Santorini, the couple will need to stop the music at 10 p.m. But for Capospartivento, for example, they can keep the music on until 2 a.m. in the morning.
Beautiful, perfect. So when we have an interested party in one of the villas, we will to ask that question.
Yeah, exactly. We will make sure that we will provide that information.
Perfect. And you mentioned some minimum night stays.
Yeah.
Can you tell us a little bit about seasonality and how that works and what that means for minimum night stays?
Yeah, so that depends as well from property to property. Some properties have a one night, they allow a one night stay, but there are some other properties which require a 7-night stay during the high season. But normally the properties which organize events, they have a minimum stay of 3 nights, I would say, as an average.
Perfect. And are these 5 villas open year round, or are some of them closed in the winter?
They are open year round.
Fantastic. And in terms of the food and beverage, I know that many of these offer a private chef on property. Are planners able to bring their own chef on property?
Sometimes, yes. 1 second, please.
Sure.
We do get the request for private chefs when there are, for example, an Indian wedding where they have, very, very special cuisine.
Yeah. They can work along the chef of the property if there is already one. And some of the owners are happy to allow their own team to be brought on site.
Perfect. For anybody that missed any slides, we will request this presentation from Michaela, and we will send it to you after in our follow-up to you.
Yeah, well, this will be recorded, so we'll definitely share it. And of course, if anybody wants to go to Wedaways.com, which is a very dynamic search engine, as you probably already know, we have all the properties with all of their photos. So you can just select the property, you can search for which property you're looking for, you can look up the villa, you can see their photos. Some of them also have videos. And I just want to share with you our very wonderful blog that we get amazing readership for. This is the latest blog that we just posted. That's already, I think we did post it on Monday. We've had well over 30,000 views already on this blog. It's super popular.
That's amazing.
Yeah, and it's really a great resource. And our wedding planning community submits blogs to us, and they relay their experiences. So these are blogs from people who are in the trenches. They really know what they're talking about. And we love our wedding planners because the collaboration that we have with them just increases everybody's capabilities. So it's just a wonderful, wonderful community. We have
make one more mention for some of you that have reached out about what do we do once we find the venue abroad, you know, and are concerned a little bit about the guest experience once they land. As we've mentioned previously, don't worry, we're not going to leave you stranded until you get to the venue. We will arrange transportation, whether it's helicopter transfers, private vehicle transfer, boat transfer, depending on the location. We will handle all of those logistics so it's a seamless experience for the couple and their guests.
Absolutely, absolutely. And then here's this Chateau Bouffemont, which is incredible. They're all just absolutely incredible, gorgeous properties. I would love to know if anybody has a favorite. That's always great to hear, you know, when people are watching our videos and then they come back. Of course, you can also always go to our webinar page on the site. And the webinar page, we share all of our webinars that we have videoed, that we have recorded. So you're welcome to share and welcome to come and visit. So I think, is there anything else that you wanted to tell us, Michaela?
I was wondering if our listeners have any other questions.
For now, we don't have any other questions, but I am sure there will be questions after this webinar once they get back into looking at venues and considering for their clients. So we will be sure to receive any questions that any of you may have about these venues or any venues or any villas, excuse me, around Europe or the world. And Michaela, we will send those to you once we receive.
Yes,
that's perfect.
And everybody watch out for our upcoming series, July 2nd, The Wedaways Advantage, Travel in the Business of Weddings, and check out our blog. And if you want to submit something, we would love to share it with our audience. And Michaela, Bucharest, Romania, thank you for joining us. Have a great evening.
Thank you so much for having me.
We'll see
Have
you.
a lovely evening.
Thank you so much. Ciao, everyone.
Bye.